It is the final game of the homestand and the final game of a three-game set between the Yankees and the Rays. It's the rubber game. Both teams going for a much-needed series win. My recap, your reactions, coming up next. This is Yankees Game Night. All right. How's it going, everybody? Enormous series win for the Yankees. Second straight day with an offensive outburst, and the Yankees have extended their division lead to 5.5 games. So it's going to be tough for the Rays to catch them, but this is by no means over. The Yankees need to keep their foot on the gas. They've looked good the last couple of days. Long ball was back on the menu today. Wizard of Oswaldo filling the home run column. This was a stress-free victory that you can marinate in for an entire Monday now. So it doesn't get much better than that. Hey, before we get started, congratulations are in order for the Martian. Jason Dominguez. He had his first ever multi-home run game last night. He's now hitting .280 on the season with 15 home runs and 36 stolen bases. So the speed and the power both there for the 19-year-old who's playing against much more experienced and slightly older, 1 or 2 years older players. Also worth noting, he's gotten better since being promoted to high A. His OPS in low A was .813, but in 40 games since being promoted, it's over 900. So I am firmly aboard the Martian hype train. Lineup was interesting today. Same exact lineup that scored 10 runs yesterday. Odd that Oswald Peraza would sit for a second consecutive day. Also odd that the Yankees didn't put Ben Rortvedt in. Higashioka played day game after a night game yesterday. I figured today would be the day at least that you would get Rortvedt in there, but I guess if you scored 10 runs after such a slow couple of months, you just want to kind of roll the dice with that lineup again, and it worked. This was only the second time this year that the Yankees have had the same lineup 2 days in a row. To me, that's unbelievable, but 10 runs, I will take it. Domingo Germán has been under the radar fantastic for about a month, pounding the zone with lots of strikes. Really good spin on the curveball, as always. Good velocity on the heater. He was starting today on 3 days rest, which I thought was abnormal, but they decided just to use him as an opener. So he only pitched 1 inning, didn't give up any hits or runs. As for the Yankees offense, Gleyber Torres coming out of it. He got the Yankees on the board in the first inning once again.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
3-run jack, 20th of the season. He's been coming around with the bat over the past several days. He finally seems to have broken through that ridiculous slump that he's been in since the All-Star break. Rays got a run back in the second on 3 very soft hits. Cabrera also made a nice play in right field. Almost made a shoestring catch, but it ended up being called a trap. So he fired to second base and picked up yet another outfield assist. Bottom 2, Aaron Judge picked up a sac fly to make it 4-1 Yankees. And then, Giancarlo Stanton.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
3-run jack into the short porch. 26th of the season. You see it there. It was a high fastball. He just tomahawked it the other way. Next batter was Gleyber Torres, and he got in on the fun once again. Another home run. 21 on the season. Second of the game, 15th pair of back-to-back home runs for the Yankees this season. That is a franchise record. Later in the inning, the Wizard of Oswaldo. This is an absolute nuke. into the bleachers. What a shot by Oswaldo. Love hitting that noise machine today. The Westminster Chimes. First career home run. That made it 10-1 Yankees in the second inning. That's how you want every game to start out, honestly. 4 home runs for the Yankees in their first 14 plate appearances. After that, they kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit, swinging at a lot more first pitches and, a lot earlier in the count, weren't working the count as much. But, look, they just wanted to get the game over with at that point. Wandy Peralta did a nice job in relief. IKF made a nice leaping catch to snare a line drive in the 5th. Rays did get a couple of runs back in the 6th off of Trevino and Marinaccio. And Donaldson beat the shift with a ground ball through the right side in the bottom of the 7th, second day in a row that he's used the right field side after not doing it for basically 5 months. So 3rd hit in a row. It would be nice to get his bat going with his glove down the stretch, even if it's just for a couple of weeks. We could use somebody to take some pressure off of Judge as he goes for the record. Clark Schmidt was really good out of the bullpen today, and the Yankees hang on to win a laugher, 10-4.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win. You're a winner.
Cherokee Indian says, interesting that the offense wakes up when Hicks isn't in the lineup for the second time in a row. I think Hicks is probably done for the season. I should have given him the belt again. Joe Higashi says, Boston Massacre coming up. Your lips to God's ears, my friend. I would love to see it. The Yankees seem to be playing with a lot more confidence the last couple of days. Can't remember the last time they put up 10 runs in consecutive games. MG says, welcome back to the 2022 Yanks. It's been a New York minute.
Excellent.
All right, we got to give out the belt because one guy did go above and beyond today, and his name is Gleyber Torres.
Let's go. Belt winner.
FG says, this is the team we've been waiting for. Yeah, the energy has really come back the last couple of days. I really didn't give the Yankees much of a shot to beat the Rays in this series, and they even got out-hit today, but they were using the long ball. It's good to see Giancarlo coming back around. Home runs in back-to-back games for him. Gleyber Torres becoming a little bit more dangerous. And it sounds like Anthony Rizzo's feeling better. He's back with the team. He's going to be hitting batting practice. Should be back soon. We got Luis Severino coming back. Some guys making rehab appearances today. Harrison Bader played in a minor league game today. So, hey, look, things looking up for the moment. Let's hope it continues. Take a look at the box score. Wandy Peralta gets the win. He is 3-4 on the season in relief, 2.44 ERA. As you can see, the Yankees got out-hit 10-8. But as Aaron Boone always says, it's not a hitting contest, it's a run-scoring contest. I think hitting helps you score runs, but that's just my opinion, man. 85 wins for the Yankees. Going through the box score, Judge just one hit today, hitting in the leadoff spot again. I've seen a lot of comments recently of people asking, why do the Yankees hit Judge leadoff? And I know that not everybody watches the game with the volume on. They've talked about it a number of times. And it's generally because it gets a guy who's been hitting a lot one more at bat guaranteed in a game if the lineup turns over. It's about getting him extra opportunities. And as we saw yesterday, he came up twice in the first inning. Stanton, big 3-run home run today and a couple of walks, better at bat, still hitting .217 on the season. But look, he's not going to magically turn it around and hit 300 this year. It's just not going to happen. He's got to not worry about that, not worry about the batting average, not worry about the OPS, and focus his attention on one thing, getting back to 2020 Giancarlo Stanton postseason. If you can get to be that guy when the postseason runs around, we can beat anybody because he can carry you. And if you got him hitting like that, either in front or behind Aaron Judge, forget it. I think he would hit behind Judge, but that means you got to pitch a little bit more to Judge. And if you pitch around him, it's more runs he can drive in. And Judge is a good base runner. He's stolen, I think, 15 bases this year. Donaldson with 1 hit today. Cabrera with 1 hit, but it was a big one, 2-run shot. He's hitting .205. I think he's a better hitter than that. I think he's going to come around. And Duhar 0 for 4 today. Kiner Falefa 0 for 2 with a couple of walks. Higashioka 1 for 3. And Marwin Gonzalez 1 for 4. Let's go through the pitching. Herman worked 1 scoreless inning. He's got a 3.21 ERA. I thought his stuff was pretty good today. He did have a walk, but I think if he had stayed in there, if he was allowed to throw, 75, 80 pitches at least, I think he probably could have given you 4 really good innings. Yankees have an off day tomorrow before they go to Boston, so the Yankees didn't mind spending their bullpen a little bit. Lucas Litke went 2/3. Weissert got a hold. He pitched the third of an inning, gave up a hit. Wandy Peralta, 2 1/3, scoreless innings, 1 hit allowed, gets the win. He's been fantastic this year. Trevino, 2/3 of an inning, gives up a run. Marinaccio gives up a rare run, his ERA at 1.93. Clark Schmidt, 2 really good scoreless innings, 4 strikeouts. He's got a 2.70 ERA. Very quietly been one of the Yankees' more effective relievers. Not quite on the Mike King level, obviously. Mike King was one of the best pitchers in the American League. But he's doing the same type of thing that Mike King would do, where he comes in and gives you a couple of innings. Now, Mike King would do it in a high-leverage spot. You don't trust Clark Schmidt quite yet to do that, but he could be on that path. PXNA says Bader coming back. We should see him. They said 10 days he's going to play in the minor leagues. So hopefully he'll get his swing back and we'll get him down the stretch. Again, I don't expect him to be the savior by any means, but it'd be nice to have some better defense and to let Judge slide back over to right field. But, the way Cabrera's playing in right field and swinging the bat today, you really have no complaints. UT Marianen says Clark Schmidt is a stud. 100% agree. Let's see. PXNA says Peraza needs to play every day. He's not a minor league journeyman. I 100% agree. I think he should play every day, but he's not going to. A lot of guys, when they first get called up to the major leagues, even Derek Jeter in 1995, you look at when he got called up, and then you look at his major league numbers the rest of the year. He didn't play a lot. He sat a lot. And he said that was one of the things that he hated about coming up to the major leagues was sitting. But, maybe next year he's going to take over at shortstop and be the everyday shortstop. This could be about, just getting guys in steady rotation in the lineup. He might play both games in Boston, and Cabrera might sit both. After hitting a home run, people wouldn't like that. But I'd imagine that when Bader comes back, and my dog's going nuts in the background. We got a storm happening here, so every time there's a crack of thunder. Once Bader comes back, that's going to make it harder to play Oswaldo Cabrera because you can't play him in right field because you got to play Judge in right field. You might be able to play Oswaldo Cabrera in left field. So it wouldn't surprise me if over the next several days, maybe after you get out of Boston, maybe they try him out in left field a couple of times. I think he'd definitely be a better left fielder than Miguel Andujar. And with Benintendi out, you need somebody to play out there. Now, Benintendi, they're saying, could be back later this season, maybe the very end of the season or in the playoffs. I doubt it. Generally, when guys have that hamate bone surgery, it's like 6 to 8 weeks. Wander Franco, I think, had it, and he was out 51 games. So I wouldn't count on seeing him again. Michael Anderson, how did you feel about Domingo Germán with the flag? Yeah, he took the American flag and ran out to the bullpen, kind of like Sammy Sosa after 9/11. I thought it was a cool moment. I thought it was a cool thing to do. Jack Wagner with a good point says Peraza can't improve if he doesn't play. Yeah, we got to find him at bats. Hoodie says, do you think Britton will be an impact player on the postseason? I do not. And the reason is this. One, when guys come back from Tommy John surgery, the last thing that comes is the command. And he's a guy who doesn't have great command anyway. And he's also a guy who, number two, needs to pitch pretty much every day, like to get into any kind of a rhythm. He's one of those guys he's a feel pitcher. He throws that sinker. And, he likes to get that feel for the pitch day in and day out, and that's when he's good, when he's pitching in high leverage situations day in, day out. But one, he's not going to pitch enough to get to that point before then. And two, you can't run him out there 2 or 3 days in a row coming back from elbow surgery. So I think he's going to probably throw maybe 1, maybe 2 innings this year at the major league level. And then I think he's going to be left off the playoff roster, and we'll see him next. Well, I don't know if we'll see him next year. He's a free agent. We'll see if they bring him back. There's a chance he could come back on like a cheap contract, but my guess is he'll go somewhere else. Josh Pedraza says, still don't trust this offense. Barely hit Yarbrough. Yarbrough's a good pitcher. He worked well today. He was mixing in and out. Let's see here. Fritz says, getting Benny back for the playoffs would be such a win. 100% agree. I don't know if it'll happen, but we'll see. Miguel Peralta says, Cabrera is going to be a really special type of player. I can feel it. And Aaron Judd with the dono, appreciate that. Says, this is the real Yankees. They're looking good. Looking good today. I saw that football is back today. I don't really watch a lot of football. So I appreciate everybody who's joining this chat. About 500 in the chat right now. Go ahead and fire up your questions and comments on this series and what you expect going forward. I want to know what you would do with Oswaldo Cabrera. Would you put him in left field, or would you keep running Andujar out there? I mean, look, Cabrera hasn't played left field yet, but I see no reason why he can't transfer that same skill set from right field to left. I think they should get him out there now. Get him some work before it becomes super necessary, if that's the direction that everything's going. Gary Wanamaker says, Cashman and Hal enjoying a cold beer tonight. And Darth Wacko wants Judge to hit one over the ugly green monster on Tuesday. You know, Stanton heating up and going into Boston could be a fun thing to watch, because last year he went crazy. He went berserk late in the season in Boston. Who could forget that grand slam? That grand slam that he hit last year is probably one of the most watched highlights that I've ever rewatched over and over again. DS Wolfpack says, is Hicks done for the season? Unofficially, probably, but officially, no. He's still on the roster. I don't imagine him being part of the playoffs at all. I think the Yankees will put him in there. He'll pinch run. I think maybe once the season is wrapped up and you just want to give some guys some rest, like if you wrap up the division, right now you lead by 5 games. So let's say there's 5 games left in the season. You win the division. You got a few days where you can give guys some days off. Judge is going to be going for the home run record, so you put him at DH. That opens up some outfield spots. AJ thinks that the other AJ is hitting 65 minimum. That would be awesome. I'll take it. Jesse says, this was a big series win. Wholeheartedly agree.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Teresa says, can the Yankees beat the Astros in your mind? So, I mean, any team can beat any team on any given day, right? It comes down to a couple of things. Which Garrett Cole would we get in the postseason? Which Nestor Cortez would we get in the postseason? If you get 2 really good starts out of both of those guys in the same series, you can win 4 games. Right there. I'm encouraged that Jonathan Loaizaga and Clay Holmes appear to be back. Even though Clay Holmes gave up a run today, it was wet. It was nasty. I'm not going to hold that against him. Getting the bullpen back and having a couple of really good, healthy starters. Also, Frankie Montas pitches really well against the Astros. So that's something to watch. Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton, if they're healthy. Again, Judge is healthy. If Stanton is back to 100% by the playoffs, either one of those guys getting hot can win you a series by himself. The Yankees have enough pieces. It's going to come down to, can the pitching shut down Altuve? Can the defense play crisp, sharp baseball, not give away outs? And can the bullpen get it done in big spots? And who's going to hit? You're going to have somebody hit. But I'm encouraged that we've got Judge and Stanton both healthy going into the playoffs, knock on wood. And you're going to hopefully have a healthy Anthony Rizzo who's got 30 home runs. I'm feeling okay about it. Right now, I'm feeling okay about it. The Yankees lose 2 in a row to Boston. I'm not going to be feeling okay about it. My mood changes day to day. John says, I'm done with Hicks, 30-30. Oh, man. Yeah, that was that's why you should never predict your own stats. That's a lesson to all you kids out there. Joe says Verlander not going to be a cakewalk. Yeah, Verlander, he's been beaten up on the Yankees year after year. But they can hit him. I mean, it's happened. Judge took him deep. Judge with another dono. Appreciate that. Kobe says, do you like the rule changes for next season? You know I do. I like the pitch clock. Everything that I've heard is that it's carved about 20 minutes off of the games in the minor leagues. Now, as somebody who does a post-game show and is getting older, and I don't like staying up till, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast. That'll probably allow me to do more West Coast post-game streams, if you just cut it short. So I like that. Bigger bases, I think, can only help protect the players. So less guys getting hurt is better. That's a safety rule. The shift, I think, will bring some of those batting averages back. I'm tired of seeing guys hit 200. I think you'll see more prospects come up and have success because there won't be a book immediately on exactly where they hit the ball. So they'll be able to, spray it around a little bit. You'll be able to get guys who are more traditional hitters throughout the minor leagues who don't necessarily have to hit home runs. They can be contact hitters. We'll see the return of players like Jeff McNeil from the Mets, who was a slap hitter. Guys who can just poke the ball anywhere. We're going to see more of that. All right, guys, we're going to call it a day. Yankees win a big series. Let's watch the highlights one more time. This was a fun game. And Domingo Germán in the first inning, working with the changeup down in the zone for the strikeout. Look at the dip on this ball. You see the nice tight spin. Here's Gleyber Torres going oppo, boppo. This one into about the 4th or 5th row. That was his 20th home run. Not crazy about that pose. Litke deals, and this one is smashed to right field, but the nice shoestring trap fires to second to get the out. Oswaldo Cabrera. This was a loop base hit that brought in a run. First run of the day for the Rays. But Giancarlo Stanton answers right back. High fastball into the short porch. Again, about 5 rows deep. And made it 7-1. Fastball inside at 93 to Gleyber Torres. He just gets the barrel to it, stays within himself, pulls the hands in, and just goes over the State Farm sign. Second home run of the game. And then Oswaldo Cabrera, 91-mile-an-hour sinker. And he drills it into the bleachers for the home run. 408 feet. What a shot. He knew it. Get it. Here's the line drive caught by Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Yankees take care of business on a day they had to. I will see you next time. Enjoy football, everybody. I'll see you on Tuesday after the Red Sox game.